Okay, example 8. Find the 10th and the nth terms of the following geometric sequences. So, part A, 3, 6, 12, 24. Well, thankfully we're told they're geometric sequences, but even if we weren't, I would hope you'd spot that to get from the one term to the next, we can always multiply by 2. So that's going to tell me that R is equal to 2, the common ratio, and A is 3 because A is the first term. So we know then that the nth term, so un, if we've learnt it, is A times R to the n minus 1, and now we can substitute in A is 3 times R, which is 2, to the 10th term is what we want, 10 minus 1. So U10 is equal to 3 times 2 to the 9, which is 512, times by 3 is 1,536. Part 2, that was part 1. Part 2, find the nth term. Well, that's even easier, isn't it? Find the nth term because it's just straight into the equation. Un equals A, which is 3 times 2 to the n minus 1. Having learnt the result, all we've done is substitute straight into this equation for A and R. Okay, part B. Not much more difficult. 40, negative 20, 10, negative 5. So we can see the first term straight away is 40. So you can get the first term. We've been told it's a geometric sequence, so we've got to look for R, which is the common ratio. So 40 to negative 20 is multiplied by negative, because the sign changes, a half. Sign changes, so it's got to be multiplied negative. 20 to 10 is a half. Sign changes, so multiplying by a negative, and 10 to 5 is a half. So our common ratio, which is constant throughout, is going to be negative a half. So UN equals A, which is 40, times the common ratio, which is negative a half, to the n minus 1. We've actually done part 2 first there. So that's the answer to part 2, just substituting in for A and for R. And now the question also wants part 1 is the 10th term. So U10 equals 40 times negative a half to the 10 minus 1. So that's 40 times negative a half to the 9. Negative to an odd power. So if we just think of it, negative times a negative equals positive. Negative times a negative is positive, times a negative is negative. So odd powers will give us negative answers. So here we've got negative 40 over 2 to the power 9. Well, 40 divides by 8, so that's going to give minus, so I'm going to think of this as, 5 times 8, and then this is 2 to the 3, which is 8, times 2 to the 6. Okay, so 2 to the 3 cancels, so we've got negative 5 over 2 to the 6, which is 64. Hope that's clear.